Hi, this is Yan1. You guys can call me Philip, the team leader of yoyofriends, and today we're going to review the Magpie 2 from yoyofriends. Now, yoyofriends were players like me, a lot of other people combined to work with FPM, the manufacturer. Together, it's like players and a manufacturer united to make awesome videos to give back to the community. Okay, so Magpie 2, the history of it is in 2018, yoyofriends made Magpie 1. In 2018, I just got sponsored by yoyofriends, and I changed the game, but Magpie was the first yo-yo that went under my wing. But as you can see, like in 2018, I just joined the company. I'm a bit of a noob in yo-yo design. I didn't know any better. So the reason why it took so long for us to make a Magpie 2 or do reruns or doing anything with Magpie is I'm not satisfied with Magpie 1. And I'm going to tell you exactly why and what we changed on the Magpie 2 that made me satisfied, and then tell everybody to, okay, we're gonna make a Magpie 2. Okay, I released this yo-yo. So, first look at this yo-yo, I'll compare it with the Magpie 1. So, first of all, Magpie 1 has 3 critical flaws. First is the gap width is way too large. It was like 4.76, which is super wide. It barely binds. Also, the rim are a little bit too sharp. I got a little bit of a complaint about that the rims on the Magpie 1 was a little bit too sharp. And the third one, this is just for me personally, I feel like it lacks a little bit of power. Even though, like, I think Rewind did a chart where, like, you know, the longer you play it, the power loss is less. However, I feel like, you know, yoyofriends are based on performance, and I think that it needs a little bit of extra power and weight distribution tuning to make this video do well both in competition and while still have fun. So yeah, so here comes Magpie 2. We literally get rid of all 3 flaws I think that needs to be improved. First of all, you can see the rims are rounded, and second of all, to add that power, right here, it used to have a kind of a finger lock, barely you can lock it. Now we got rid of it, so this is now flat. We moved the weight here to the rims and on the outside. So now the Magpie is a lot more rim weighted, and also to enhance the flow and fun of Magpie, right? We made the yo-yo even wider, because one thing Magpie 1 was good at is catch zone and just width, and when you grind it, it's absolutely like one of the best finger grinding out there. So we made it even wider, even more catch zone, and then, you know, to keep that, you know, fun and float, so we added the diameter to increase the power, and also the width to still have that fun, flowy, and the essence of Magpie 1. So that's what we changed on the Magpie 2. And of course, the gap width is now 4.44 instead of 4.76, which is, I don't know why I decided that was a good idea back in 2018. I would go back to 2018 and stop myself probably. So anyways, yeah, this is why, you know, yoyofriends are always improving. I learn, manufacturers learn, our players learn from, you know, the mistakes, and what we can, tiny improvements in every details from every single release we have, and we improve over time. Hopefully you guys can see that. So, all right, also, the manufacturing side, they improved on the color game. Look at the difference. This is our splash in 2018, 2019. And this is the splash now in 2022. I always complain about our splashes. I was like, look at C3s, they're so much better. But now I can proudly say that this is a very good splash color. I'm very proud of FPM and our manufacturing team for the insane quality upgrade on the Magpie 2 and the splash colorways. And also, we're using our new yoyofriends pads, the pink pads. So from Magpie 2, all yo-yos from yoyofriends have pads upgraded to the more grippier pink version. They're just more grippy and have a snappier bind. Our players loved it, way better than the clear ones. So yeah. Okay, so the spec of the Magpie 2 is here. Okay, so smoothness of this yo-yo, just like the Magpie 1, this is a 7068 mono metal. So yoyofriends, like, we're making mono metal, should be like 10 out of 10 smooth, and it is. You know, it's mono-metal. You can't really do too much around there. Power on this unit has huge increase over the Magpie 1 without adding weight. So the power is, you know, I would say above average for a competition mono-metal, or you can say like a little bit above average. But that's a huge improvement. Like the power loss over time, it's still very low, just like the Magpie 1. However, you feel more stability and more power right out of the gate. You have that control. You do feel like the yo-yo can power through combos, and it does. So yeah, it's decently long spinning. I would say this is like around a Sunbird in terms of power and pure spinning potential. So that's very good. Stability on the suit is actually good now. Yeah, it's very, very stable. Even though this video is a little bit wider, I think 1 millimeter wider than a Magpie 1. However, it has been drastically improved on the stability because of the weight distribution. I would say this is the most stable, you know, mono-metal. It's still super wide, and it's not just like a pure rim weight, you know, yo-yo like the Sunbird and our Drake signature mono-metal that's coming this year. So it's still like not the best in terms of stability, but in a competition and high stress situations, this has all the stability to do that. So that's great. Acceleration is a little bit slower than the Magpie 1. That's what happens when you move the center weight to the outside, but still accelerates really, really fast. Why? Because this yo-yo is still not very heavy, still under 65 grams. The diameter, even though it's increased, it's still very, very like around average to slightly below average at 55 millimeter. And acceleration is barely, you know, decreased. It is a little bit slower, but you know, you play them side by side, you might notice it, but just out of the gate, it's still very, very fast accelerating yo-yo. Sorry that I don't play it too much recently, besides testing, so I'm pretty rusty. But yeah, this yo-yo accelerates great. And also, here's the very interesting one: top speed and sustained top speed. It's a huge improvement. I think this is the biggest improvement, right? So Magpie 1, maybe like the top speed is around the same as Magpie 2, but it's that, does the player have the confidence to sustain that top speed? The Magpie 1 don't, right? You might be out of control due to lack of stability and the floating nature of it. This one, it fixes all that. It still has that floating nature, but you can sustain this top speed for way longer because of the stability increase and power increase. So it will be way better in contest, right? I am like really enjoying this yo-yo at this like higher speed, way more than the Magpie 1. So huge increase here. Flow and float are a little bit less than the Magpie 1. However, like I said, the essence of Magpie is still there. Super wide. The rims are not exactly all out. It's like along the outer part. So there's plenty of flow, plenty of float. Still have that essence of Magpie there. That's what makes Magpie have a lot of fans. Like I still think that Magpie 2 encompass like what the fan of Magpie 1 wants, while just adding brute performance on top of it. That's kind of the goal, and I think we achieved it perfectly. Played exceeded my expectation, honestly. Okay, so horizontal on this yo-yo, it's another huge improvement. This is now super wide, and you know, with the power stability increase, this can handle horizontal very well now. I can't say that to the Magpie. Oh shoot, sorry, I'm really, really rusty. I can't really say that to the Magpie 1, but Magpie 2, it can definitely handle horizontals way better. Oh. It's just so easy to catch. God, I need to practice it a little more. Okay, so horizontal is great. Bind on this yo-yo is also great. I'm using a worn out Kitty normal, so the bind is a little bit slippy, but if you use Kitty Fat to Kitty XL, you're fine. The gap width is once again 4.44. So basically in line with Hummingbird. Yeah, so bind is good. Also, oh shoot, you see how hard that snapped? It's because of the ping pads that yoyofriends we use now. It's really, really grippy. So it comes straight back at you, very tight. So that's really awesome. You know, in competition situations, you want the bind to be perfect. I learned this from Drake, bind master in our team. Okay, stream like recommendation: Kitty Fat, Kitty XL, OT Fat, OT XL, Sochi Fat, Sochi XL. Those finger grind is like 10 out of 10 because Magpie 1 was 10 out of 10. This is Speed Blast 768. Literally sit on your finger all day. Like, look, it's still spinning. Like, with the power increase and it actually do finger grind longer than the Magpie 1. And also it's wider, so you can just sit on your finger. Thumb grind is not recommended, just like Magpie 1, there's no lip here. So unless you do it, you have to throw horizontally. I'm not going to do it. It's just going to pop off my finger. So thumb grind is not really good. Finger spin, it's a little bit worse than Magpie 1. However, it's still very good because, like I said, it's bead blasted and more power. And also, you can just sort around. Like, you can't lock it anymore. Like, Magpie 1 barely locks it, but Magpie 2, even though you can't lock it, it still swerves around. And the surface is very smooth. This is not like super aggressive, this line here. So you can do finger spin very, very well. I think Dylan Kowalski did a video on the review on the Magpie 2, and he's just doing finger spins right off the bat. And he says he's not good at finger spin. That is cap. He's not bad. He's really good at finger spin. So, yeah, like, bam, 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 bam. I may be worse than him now. Okay. Yeah, so Yo was very good at finger spin. So, okay, so conclusion on this yo-yo. This Magpie 2, you know, after how many years? 2019, I think 2018 December was the last run. So this almost 3.5 years that we didn't make another round Magpie is because of, you know, I want every single yoyofriends to be the best, and Magpie is just not there for me. So, this is a final yo-yo that I'm proud of to reintroduce to in the yoyofriends lineup to reintroduce, and it's very powerful. It's a lot more stable than a Magpie 1. Acceleration is still there, pretty good. Sustained top speed and top speed is great. This is now great for competition yo-yo. Back then Magpie, I won't like super tell you to use it for pure competition. Now you can use this. It still have the essence of Magpie. They still have float of the Magpie 1, so that's great. Finger grind is one of the best ever used. Finger spin is really good as well. Horizontally does it as well. Now it's less sharp. The bind has it's not really good with the ping pads, and also the gap was decreased. And the only thing this one is not good at is thumb grind. I don't recommend you to do thumb grind with this unless you throw horizontally and kind of do it, but at that point you just might as well do a finger spin. So yeah, that is my conclusion on the Magpie 2. I think that this is very, very, like, you know, how do I say this? Like, very good mono-medal for yoyofriends. Yoyofriends needs more good mono-medals. You know, our specialty is bi-medals, but hopefully we change that in 2022 by bringing some awesome mono-medals, just like the Magpie 2. And from now on, like I said, if we're not satisfied with the yo-yo that we did before, we're gonna stop running it, right? We're gonna make sure that a yo-yo, it's 100% up to my standards, up to the manufacturer standard, up to every single player on the yoyofriends standard. Yeah, so Magpie 2 is available everywhere, almost everywhere, worldwide. I have a link down here in the yoyofriends store. And yeah, so this is my overview on the Magpie 2. See you guys next time. We have some crazy stuff going on. We got Drake's signature. We got some magnesium yo-yo I'm testing for the prototype. Right here, you got the magnesium yo-yo. Very interesting. Never played magnesium before. Very interesting. So that's all. And keep following yoyofriends for more stuff. And peace.